This episode of A Conversation with John Conenna is sponsored by Generate. In today's digital age, staying ahead means harnessing the power of generative AI. Wondering how your small or medium-sized business can join this revolution? Look no further than Generate, your strategic partner for integrating cutting-edge generative AI solutions. We create personalized plans, adapting existing AI technologies to fit your specific business needs. Plus, our expert team provides essential training, empowering you to make the most of these innovative technologies. Interested in transforming your business with AI? Reach out to us at generateteam@gmail.com. That's generate, GENERAIT, team@gmail.com. And now, on with the episode.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of A Conversation with John Conenna. Today, it brings me great pleasure to bring in a gentleman who has got a lot of determination and has something going on right now in the fitness world. I'd like to bring in Agostino Lappo, who has started his own fitness company called Forza Fitness. He's the owner and personal trainer and a great online fitness coach, which he's going to explain to us how this all works and everything else. This will be a very great interview about his determination and his work ethic. His background, of course, is one of soccer. So we're going to go back, Tino, a little bit. Again, it's Agostino Lappo, but during this interview, I'm going to call him Tino. So Tino, good morning, and how are things going, young man?
Good morning, John. Good. Thank you for having me.
You got it. You got a passion for something, and it's just like me with hockey when I was growing up. It just never leaves you, and it transcends and it leads into different things, and you still be part of the sport. I want to touch on your soccer career because if you don't have the soccer career, you're not going to do this thing that you wanted to start. When did you start playing soccer? When did you find the love? Because I know your father was in love with, I think the whole Lappo family loves soccer.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead.
So I fell in love with soccer since I was born. Watching soccer with my dad at a really young age, he put me into soccer again at a really young age, and I fell in love with it ever since I was literally 5 years old. Like that's how far back it goes. And now I'm 28, and I'm still in love with it like I'm a little kid. So that's my soccer passion. So I've been playing again since I was five, played throughout high school, and even played in college.
Wow, incredible, incredible. So, you got into it right away, just that love of, of that game. And of course, you talk about a game. Somebody always tells me, hey, did you see the score last night against, let's say, a Juventus or Inter Milan? It was 1-0. How boring, how this or that. This is when I know, and you will correct me if I'm wrong. There's these 11, it's 11 and 11, correct, on that field? 11 and 11. You have to be in the shape of your life and the strategic that goes into soccer, that the person who doesn't know about sports that goes into it. So you talk about now what is it transcended for you with the fitness.
Yeah.
You remember what you had to go through, correct? To make
yeah.
these travel teams and to make that Elmhurst University. You remember some of those trainings?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of work. And my strong suit was never the running aspect of it. It was always the scoring goals, playing with the ball, the show part. But really the main thing is, the stamina and keep pushing when you're tired and fatigued and your legs don't want to work much anymore,
Right.
going into the 80th minute, 90th minute. But the trainings, I remember doing tests like, running 2 miles in 6 minutes in college for that, or I think they call it the Indian run, where you're going to have to run around the track. But if you're last, you get first in line, and then the last person gets first in line, and you keep going all the way. So those for me were always the hardest part. Yeah, but that's not even really what got me into the fitness aspect of it. Like the stuff I'm doing now.
Right.
What got me into that, I'll just jump right into that too.
No, go ahead.
So going into my sophomore year of college, in the summer, I tore my hamstring, and it sucked because I was gonna be out for the whole season.
Do you
And so,
remember, real quick, do you remember
yeah,
how you tore that hamstring?
yeah, yeah. it was in a summer league game. It was not even a game that mattered at all.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's the worst part. But yeah, I got the ball on the left wing and I
Okay.
was fast. So I am fast. I like to say I'm still fast.
Yeah,
No.
I can imagine that you are. You're in great shape.
I had the ball on the left wing, and I pushed the ball really long because I knew my speed. I was going to pass this defender up, so I pushed the ball really long, and I ran. I beat the defender, but as I was approaching the ball, I just felt a little snap in my hamstring, and I couldn't even take another step. I went down immediately. Probably the worst pain I've ever experienced playing soccer. So then going into the season, when I was told I couldn't play for the whole season, do I had the option for surgery or physical therapy. The
I
surgery would have been a longer recovery, and me, I just wanted to get back on the field. So I'm like, all right, give me the physical therapy. So I did the physical therapy, and I couldn't stand to just be on the bench and watch and watch, and I had to do
sure,
something, right? So I'm like, let me prepare now for the next season so that I'll be in the best shape that I can be.
sure.
That's when I started to lift weights. And then when I started lifting weights, that's when everything changed.
You saw the difference in the preparation of the body. Okay, before this injury,
Yeah.
before this whole thing happened in this like exhibition game, practice game that you called it, did you feel like, okay, I'm young at the time. How old were you at that time when this happened? This was at Elmer's.
Yeah, I was 19.
19. Okay. So yeah, I mean, a 19-year-old guy, to rebound from that, you probably figured a couple days, just not you stay off of it for a while, maybe take some
Uh,
action, but
I knew, I
you
knew,
knew, you
yeah,
knew. Yeah,
I knew it was something more serious. Yeah, yeah.
sure. So from that moment, it takes you. And by the way, I wanted to touch on you, to play at Elmhurst. I saw when I was doing a little bit of the research on you, to play at Elmhurst, I think you were there from 2015 to 2017. To make
Hmm.
that team, that type of college team, and the coaching there and everything else. And of course, you played at the travel level. You had to be a great player. You're not just going to be, oh yeah, there's John Conenna. Let's bring him in to play left winger, right? Yeah, that's not how it's done. So what an accomplishment by you.
Thank you.
But the foresight right there, you knew now that, okay, I got to stay in shape. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean, how at the moment, I'd like to ask you this question. How old are you now?
28. I
Okay.
just turned
And
28. Yeah.
and I got to tell you, this is a great thing that you told me this, because it's that time where a lot of people get married, a lot of guys let themselves go, and it's the transcend till we go to 30 where, okay, the famous saying that I think an Agostino Lappo hears now from his clients or people he runs into. Yeah, hey, looks like you gained 10 pounds. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get
Mm.
going tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And in the words from a great movie, when Apollo Creed tells Rocky Balboa, there is no tomorrow.
Hmm.
There is no tomorrow. What made you get into this? Because I'd really like to get into this now with the fitness. What was that morning when you wake up and you say, man, I want to do something now like this?
Yeah. So actually, it goes back to when I was in college, right?
Yeah.
So you know, seeing result from so like I said, I got in the gym and I started training my ass off. I could say ass.
Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I was training my ass off, and I'm starting to see results. And once you see results, John, it's you fall in love. You get addicted. It becomes an obsession. So ever since then, it was always an obsession. Seeing results from never really. Of course, I worked out here and there, in training and stuff like that, but never really like consistently for gaining muscle, getting bigger, right? To the point where going into the next season to play, my coach pulled me in the office and was like, dude, what are you doing? I was too big. He's like, you gotta lose like freaking 10
Wow.
pounds. He's like, your legs are too big. You're gonna be slow or you're gonna be this. So it got to the point where I fell in love with that side of it too. Yeah. Um, so in college, I started taking on some clients here and there just for fun, and I actually, got them results even with little experience. Um, it was a business that like I thought, hey, maybe, I can do.
Sure.
Never really took it really seriously, right? Like I said, I had a couple clients here and there, and it was cool. I was getting them results, but I didn't have any systems in place. I didn't have like a business plan. I didn't have any of that. Um, Throughout the years, I always had that in the back of my head, like maybe I should start that business that I kind of did in college a little bit.
Right.
Pushed it. Maybe I should start. Pushed it, and now this year, I would say about 6 months ago, I really said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna actually take it serious. I'm gonna do my research and get all those systems in place to then create this business successfully and really try to grow it.
Well, you brought up another great point here. This is a little bit before your time. Jordan wound up playing, of course, his first part of his career with the Bulls. Then he went on to go play basketball after he had left basketball for about 2, 3 years. And I'll never forget when he came back. And in a lot of documentaries that he talks about, he says, when I came back after playing baseball and basketball, we are using different muscles and different things. He says, I was not in shape in that beginning run with the Bulls, which was at the tail end of the 90s until the following year. So you have hit on something. Did you find yourself, like you said, when you were working on a daily basis, now you went to go play, did you find yourself that, okay, you're in great shape, but now the speed had decreased because of the way you were working out?
I didn't really see it that way. I actually saw it the other way.
Okay.
Okay, he was maybe exaggerating a little bit. I wasn't like, ginormous by any
Right.
means, but I had put on some, a good amount of muscle, even in my legs, that I think helped me. Which it did. I did, cut down a little bit because yeah, it was a little bit, too big, but not nothing like 10 pounds or anything like he had thought. But uh it's different. Yeah, in the game you can't be this big. If you look now, there's this guy, his name is Adama Traore.
Okay.
Um, he is massive soccer player.
Massive.
Yeah, he's massive. He's good and it works for him. But in the game you can't be really too big. It's different. It's different than it's not a bodybuilding. Again, you're running 90 minutes straight. So
And this game now, like any other sport, becomes about the speed, correct? I mean,
speed and strength, yeah.
you gotta be moving, and yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So Forza Fitness, which really intrigued me to call you and we get together. I've been trying for a few months, and I'm so glad that you came on. So Forza Fitness, it starts, let's say the guy your age, younger, the guy who's in high school who maybe wants to take it to another level, like, bulk himself up, or you're looking at the guy here, 65-year-old, who still wants to stay in shape, but every day he's coming to this travel agent and saying, tomorrow,
Or-
tomorrow. So you have now performed, or you're setting up different things virtually for different types of clients, the high school athlete, the middle-aged guy, or this 65-year-old John Conenna, correct?
Yep.
Take us through that.
Absolutely, yeah. So, apart from doing, in-person personal training, um, I do online personal training, and online personal training is really my main thing that I do. It's different. It's different than just seeing you, once a week or twice a week in the gym. This is really, I'm your coach, right?
Got it.
I'm your coach, and I integrate fitness into your life. So fitness goes around your life as opposed to your life going around fitness, right? To where it's a job. We don't want that. It's fitness and health and fitness is something that you want to that should be sustainable for your whole life, right? So developing habits, good habits, getting rid of bad habits, starting slow, starting small, getting little wins, gaining the confidence to continue and keep going and keep going and keep going. Um, so I'll just talk a little bit about how it works online
Sure.
is, let's say you come to me and we have a talk just like this and you explain to me what's going on, in your life and how I can help you, right? So I would create a plan and tailor to your life is what it is. So if you like, let's say, for example, you work at the travel agency, you can only get in the gym 2 times a week.
Right.
So I work with you there. So we get in the gym 2 times a week. your nutrition plan, and it's not so much of a here's a workout plan, here's a nutrition plan, good luck. It's I'm your coach, right? So we do check-ins every week. Bi-weekly we do this to see what's going on, if we need to change anything. So I'm with you every step of the way. So that's how that works online.
So, doing it virtually, being online, which is fantastic. Are you seeing like the Joe Smith or the John Conenna where I know it's early on for you, but do you see like, okay, how do you see the results if this is working? Are you able to just ask the questions? Did you follow this? Did you do this?
Yeah.
Are you getting the feedback back from them? Hey,
Yeah.
Augustino, I'm trying it. I'm working it hard, but maybe that guy is not really doing it the way you want. And of course,
Mhm.
tell me this, Augustino, your daily diet has to change too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I actually have an app for the Forza Fitness app, that you'll get access to, when you come on as a client. And so in that you have all of your workouts that, when you go to the gym, you're logging it. So then on my end, I can see that you're logging it. Or
Huh?
if I'm giving you a meal plan or we're doing a macro count, basically, counting calories, and you're logging in your food, I'm seeing that you're doing that. And then every week, like I said, we do a check-in. So you're going to submit a form to me. So then in the check-in, I can see the form. I can see, I ask questions in that. So again, it's constant communication. And so we also in the app, there's like a messaging platform. Any questions, we're talking throughout the day, throughout the week, anything you have. So it's not a good luck. It's I'm with you. What do you need? How can I help you?
Right.
How can we continue to progress?
And you're checking in with them. And I know, but as this thing will, it's constantly growing for you, I'm sure, with clients, because this is the modern way of doing things. So you're checking in or they're checking in with you.
Yeah.
You brought up something really interesting right away, right off the bat that I loved today before we went into the Forza Fitness. You had said, hey, how you prepare. Like you loved what you saw now of the Agostino Lappo. Sometimes I'll look at pictures of myself when I was playing hockey and I'm like, man, I would love to have that waistline again, So I look at it as like once you get into this, your routine that you give to your clients, do you find even now early on with some of your clients that they're calling you and saying, Augustino, man, I'm seeing the results. I like this.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Like, there's some people that I've taken on that within the first 2 weeks, in
right.
the check-ins, you're going to submit a picture, and we compare the first picture that you send to the third week or the fourth week, and you're seeing a difference right away, and they're seeing it too. So again, once you see those results, you become addicted and you become more motivated.
You know, the meal plan really does become, I mean, you could do all the working out you got, but if you're still going out on a Friday, Saturday night and you're having 2 pizzas and 10 clams, this is not, you need to, I mean, it becomes a 7 day ordeal with the meals, correct?
So believe it or not, I don't restrict any of my clients.
Okay.
That's the thing, because again, the main thing here is sustainability. I have a client that eats ice cream 5 days a week or 7 days if she wants,
Okay.
because when we're tracking our macros, I can talk all day about macros, but macros make up the calories. So
Got
if
it.
you're below a certain amount of calories, then you're going to be losing weight. As long as you're still getting your fruits, you're still getting your vegetables, you can enjoy that pizza, you can enjoy, the ice cream at night in bed or those, so I don't restrict anybody because of the sustainability thing. If I'm going to restrict you from having a beer and you like to have a beer with your friends, after a month, you're like, all right, man, I want to have a beer with my friends. What
Right.
is this? And you're going to fall off. So it's developing good habits to then be able to do this long term.
So, I mean, it's basically like anything else. It's a different button to push for every client. I mean, again, I agree with you. The pizza, the beer, but I don't want, I mean, again, to correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, John, what's going on this week? Yeah, well, we went to Ponce de Pizza Monday. Wednesday, we went to Rosario's and we had pizza, 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 pizza. And I mean, and I'll use that as the exaggeration. We're eating all this kind of like high intake food, very rich. That's
Mhm.
when you probably step in and say, hey,
Of
listen,
course. Yeah. So it's true. It's just as habits. You don't want to fall
right.
into these habits, to where you're taking advantage and then you're eating all these these, greasy and fried foods. It's still not good for you, even though you could still lose weight. There's been people that have done challenges, 30 days eating Big Macs every day. Of course, you can still lose weight if you're eating below that number.
Right.
But it's not ideal that you're going to be eating Big Macs every day.
The determination factor, like when you're setting up with whoever it is, the client, the man. And by the way, this is for men and females, correct? Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry that I didn't bring that up earlier.
No, no.
So, um, you do you see like that new client now right away who comes in? Let's take me for example. Yeah, Tino, I put on about 15 pounds since I last saw you and everything else. So you already start to ask the questions, what do you do? What every day? What's your routine? So you kind of virtually
Yeah.
just get into this person's life in the sense of his daily routine, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to make it, as convenient for you as possible because this is your life. So I'm doing everything tailored to your life, not your life tailored around this. It's this tailored around your life.
Right, right, right. And um I know a lot of the big thing here is the virtual and getting and setting up a program for the people. But if they wanted to meet with you, you have a place where they can go to, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's in Park Ridge.
Great, great. And of course, maybe toward the end here, we'll bring up
Sure.
the
Yeah.
address and everything else and everything else. I do want to just put a little bit of pause here on this to remind our audience we're visiting today with the owner and online fitness coach of Forza Fitness, Agostino Lappo. A very nice, great new concept. And you'll, if who's ever watching this, which will come out on YouTube and on Spotify in the coming days, you're going to see how this is tailored to the person. This is not something that is just regimented for one person. It's tailored to your lifestyle. And this is the way Agostino is breaking this down. To go back to now your program, let's always just take the woman or the guy. Is this a 5 day? Is this something you do every day, or is it certain days of the week, or do you have time for the body to rest and everything else? Augustine, how does it work? I mean, you recommend 7 days a week, you recommend five, three, what does it come down to on on an approximate?
Yeah. So I recommend whatever works for you. You
Got it.
know, yeah. So if you can only get in the gym 3 days a week, I'll create something to where you only need to be in the gym 3 days a week. If you can't get in the gym at all, let's say you're a mom, you're a stay-at-home mom, you got 3 or 4 kids at home, and you got no shot to get to the gym. So we're gonna create something with what you can do at home.
Got it.
It's really, and if you can get in the gym 7 days a week, let's get in the gym 7 days a week. But if you want to do that to yourself, I don't even get in the gym really 7 days a week. But yeah, so it's really however, whatever is convenient for you, whatever you want to do.
Over the years, of course, both of us being athletes at different times in our lives, how many, is there a certain method of how many calories we should intake depending on our age and our body weight and how many calories we should burn? I know I'm probably showing my age on this, but is that still the go-to, the taking in and the taking out every day?
Yeah. So what I do basically is I'll calculate, your maintenance calories. So in short, maintenance calories are the amount of calories that you need to eat every day in order to not gain weight and not lose weight. You're going to be maintaining. So if someone comes to me and is like, I need to put on, I want to put on 10 pounds, I'm really skinny. So I'll be calculating that maintenance calories, and then I'll adjust those calories for you to go over those. Let's say 300, 500 calories. So every single day you're eating above that number, and then over time you're going to be gaining weight. Same thing goes the other way. You go below that number, over time you're going to be losing weight.
Interesting, and thank you for bringing it up because we're going to have so many different types of people watching this. So you have the athlete or the woman or the guy my age who might be a 60 pounds less than me that's going to say to you, "Hey, man, I just can't keep any weight on." You have even the program to put the weight on certain foods, correct?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that comes down to food. In the gym, obviously, if you're, let's say, I'm not going to run someone that's 65 years old through a program, the same as I would run someone that's 25 years old.
Right.
But overall, the style of lifting weights doesn't really change much. Just I guess the only thing that would change is, your ability to do these things. Again, age does play a factor. But the exercise part doesn't really change, but the food part is a big thing that does.
Is there in the programs, Augustino, is there a lot of I'm not going to use the word a lot. Is there a little bit of weightlifting that goes on where you might get like little weights and things like that? So like I know women like to tone their arms and men like to work on the leg part. It looks like the
Yeah,
biggest thing with the men is the maybe the gut area. So you have all different types of things that you could show them, correct?
yeah, absolutely. So again, I create everything, right? So
Right.
they're not like already preset, different programs. It's however is, I work with your body and the things that we need to reach your goals. So then I'll create that from scratch.
Um, Correct me here because over the years I cannot stand if it's my own family or if it's me and you talking at a bar. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in about a week. You are? How? Yeah, I'm just gonna starve myself and I'll take maybe a pill and I'll lose the weight. I always have said, you want to lose weight. I want to know if you're going to say that John Conenna is right. You need to work out.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to work out, but does it help? And is your body going to look way better? Absolutely. Again, there's people that don't work out and they eat. See, here's the thing. It's that number that they're eating below that, So you're
Got
eating
it?
below that, you're going to lose weight, whether you're working out or you're not. You could do cardio every single day. Sure, that's going to help you get below that number. But lifting weights is not only good, appearance wise, it's good longevity wise. It's good to have some strength, have some muscles on your bones.
Yeah, because I mean, your body now becomes proportion. It's not, you could take a pill or you could starve yourself or you could go on some kind of a water diet. And I've seen people where their face is like, "Wah,"
Yeah,
and their
yeah.
arms are out here. Let's take an example. I know our audience doesn't know him, but let's take a look. And I've known him, I've seen him my whole life. Is your father? Your father has been that straight type of guy who,
Hmm.
and here's a guy I know who's eating well because your mom's a great cook. So, here's a guy who's not eating a lot of junk. He's eating what we call in Italian la minestra every night, food. He's not a type of guy who's going to the McDonald's, the Burger King.
Never.
So again, what you have said here tonight is something that really is important. The lifestyle, the food, the working out, it all comes into play. So what you're showing to people, and I love the fact even that this is not about losing weight. If you need to gain weight or tone yourself, an Agostino Lappo with Forza Fitness is a really good thing to look into. And I want, before I'm going to have a 5-question thing, a little fun thing before I let you
Yep.
go, but I want to ask now the people, and if you could do it, kind of, where it's slow and everything. What's the best way to get a hold of you? Where is this place in Park Ridge if needed? And what is your best thing and for Forza Fitness? And of course, we'll have this in front and back of this after the podcast. But what is the best way to get a hold of Augustino Lappo for this great venture that you have provided?
Yeah, you can get a hold of me on Instagram, just Tino Lappo. And then email works good too. ForzaFitnessCoaching@gmail.com. I would say those two are
So
those two are
Forza Fitness Coach at gmail.com. And of course,
coaching.
the Instagram was Tino Lappo
Hmm.
on the Instagram part. Uh, and of course, the place in Park Ridge, if you want to mention the address,
Yeah.
that's fine. Or yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It's an underground fitness studio in Park Ridge. It's underground the Chase Bank. It's right in that same building.
Oh,
Um,
beautiful.
yeah, it's 1 South Northwest Highway in Park Ridge.
Right, right. And yeah, and to get this personalized kind of training, not kind of training from Augustino and programs that he's setting up, just fantastic. Reading about it, you breaking it down here today for me is really good. And again, I always tell my wife, great, you made this food and everything. It was great tonight, but it's not the reward. I like what you said earlier. Hey, once you get into this, you want to keep doing it. It's very addictive when you start to get in shape and you look in that mirror. When you look in that mirror, you say, wow, I'm looking good, instead of, wow, I can't get these pants on. Okay, we're going to play a little game. We want to get to know you a little bit better. I got 5 questions for you and something I want to say about you at the end. Give me 1-word, 2-word answers, sentence. Who were your early mentors in your life that made you get into sports, made you get into this? Now it's put you over that edge to do this. Name some early mentors that you really look up to and talk about to this day. Could be mom and dad, could be anybody or a coach.
Yeah, honestly, my dad.
Beautiful.
My dad.
Yeah, and that's Agostino Lappo, by the way, if anybody wants to know the man I was talking about who still looks the same to me from 1980. so that's Agostino, yeah. And of course, his love for sport is something else also.
Oh, yeah. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd like soccer, to be honest.
Right. Great. No, yeah. A guy who's very passionate about his thing. All right. Question 2. What is a movie that Agostino Lappo could watch 200 times and not get bored? Give me 1 or 2. You get off the interview with me, you go and watch it right now.
I like comedies, right? So I'm gonna stay on topic and go Kicking and Screaming.
Okay.
Kicking and Screaming. And let's go Step Brothers.
Okay, the great one. Okay. So yeah, that one, they're in both ones that you can turn them on right now and watch them. I like
both Will Ferrell too.
Yeah, oh yeah, the best. Okay. I think I know, but maybe I don't know. This is 2-fold question. Give me your favorite soccer team to this day in your life, and you're on the field and you got to name the other 10 soccer players in the world that you would have loved to play with. So remember, you got 10. You're the 11 guy. Who are the 10 you would love to be the dream team, Agostino Lappo? Favorite soccer team first.
Man, favorite soccer team is Inter Milan. If you know me, you know that's
okay. That's the go-to.
Yep. Oh, you got to give me you got 45 minutes. I can give you a starting.
I gotta open up the
That's hard. That's hard. Okay.
Give it your best.
All right. I'll kind of go quick on the top of my head here. We'll go with in goal. I'll go Buffon.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're going old school.
I'll go Inter Milan legend Javier Zanetti on the right. I can I can name a lot of these guys are going to probably be on my on Inter Milan history.
What position are you playing on this 11? By the way, you're on this field,
Yeah, I'll play striker.
Okay.
I'll play striker.
Okay.
I'll go with Walter Samuel, one of the 2 center backs. I'll go with Maldini, the other center back.
What a player.
And left back. You know what? Maybe I'll move Maldini left back.
Okay, you got it. You're the coach.
And the other center back, I'll go with top of my head, we'll go with Fabio Cannavaro.
Okay, hey, you can't go wrong here. Too bad we can't pick this team for the 26 World Cup,
Uh-huh.
And everybody works out in Forza Fitness to those guys. Okay, what's the go-to meal at the end of the week? If it's at a restaurant or if something that Carmela Lappo make, what is your favorite go-to meal from mom or a restaurant?
I don't know if I love food. I love food. And I don't know if I have a go-to meal, but I'll give you my favorite pasta will be pasta with rapini.
Right. Yeah, that is yeah, I mean, you talk about, that is a quality, what as I was saying before, minestra, that I think everybody should have once, right? That's fantastic. All right. Question 5, before I say something about you. This is great what you've done. This going and starting this Forza Fitness. I see the passion and the work ethic coming out of you. You're very passionate about this in our conversation today. What are your goals for this? What would you like to see in the next year from this date on when we meet again for that interview? What is that goal that you would like to see for Forza Fitness and Agostino Lappo with this company?
In the next year, I just want to grow it, as much as possible. Obviously, that's a goal with a business is to grow it. But beside growing the business, I just want to impact as many people as I can and help people, change their lives, better their lives, get healthier, get stronger, even, change their mindset on a lot of these things, change their habits.
It would be a truly big thing for you to see that. And are you starting to see this early on?
Oh yeah. So I started this about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And so with the people that I got on, right away within that first month, you're really seeing it now after a couple months. You have, again, like I said, you're starting to see changes in the first, 2, 3, and I would
Sure.
say 3, 4 weeks. But then now, you're 8 weeks in and you're really starting to see some really big
Changes. Well, listen, Augustino, here's what I want to say. Your drive and determination are unbelievable. When I had heard you first started this, I was very excited for you. I wanted to get a hold of you. I've been trying to chase you down for about 4 or 5 months, but I know with the setup of this and everything else, it's time consuming. You got to get a lot of things in line here, and every day becomes a big factor. But I got to tell you, very proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. I truly appreciate you coming on a conversation with John Conenna, and I am going to bug you 6, 7 months down the road for something. And if I continue to do this little bit of spiraling that I've done, meaning getting a little bit sloppy in my life, don't be surprised that I'll be calling you for a program very shortly, probably after December 25th.
After you get that last big meal in,
Yeah,
right?
I gotta get the pasta with the cozze in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, of course.
Anyway, we've been visiting today with Agostino Lappo, the owner and online fitness coach for Forza Fitness. Please listen to this podcast to see how to get a hold of him. This has been an uplifting thing. And for the people that are wanting to make that change, this is the man to do it. Agostino, you have a great day, and I truly thank you for today.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
You got it.
Available now at Amazon and everywhere books are sold online. Siciliana. Siciliana is a captivating novel that embodies the ferocity of a woman wronged while contemplating complex questions of home and country. This thrilling story of a 13th century Sicilian revolution will dazzle fans of historical fiction. You will find much here to relish, tremble at, and in the end, cheer. Purchase your copy today.